Trump's policies are beginning to take form. We have Elon Musk with his salute, Stargate, as well as Sam Altman and other topics here on Dangerous Waters. This is the Dangerous Waters podcast where we dive deep into dangerous waters. I'm your host, Alex, and today let's talk about what Trump has been doing as well as some other topics. First off, Trump's ICE raids have already started. We have seen some action in Boston and also along the southern border. 1,500 troops have already made it to the southern border. They're going to be reinforcing it. Texas themselves have also reconstructed parts of the barriers that they've had to remove under the Biden administration, and now things are really going into motion. We already have news that an MS-13 member was just arrested by ICE, and it's hard to say if he'll be deported or if he'll go to prison. Let's see what happens. But this immigration stuff is really rolling into motion. Trump already said during his campaign that the Democrats and Biden, by extension, could easily have stopped the border and reversed a lot of these policies. But instead, the Democrats tried to push through a border bill, and Trump was out here saying, actually don't need that. He even went against the bill, and he said all of this can be solved with executive actions, and we are seeing that today. Trump is in power. He is using his executive influence and the executive orders to completely reshape how the border policies are being constructed without any congressional laws needed. So it really does show that Trump was actually right about this. A lot of things are already moving, already changing. Let's see how that progresses from here. Let's talk about the DEI programs. Trump has signed executive orders shutting down all DEI programs in federal agencies as well as state schools. So he is really going in. He is telling NASA, all these federal agencies, every single one of them, he's saying that every single person involved in the DEI aspect of these agencies are going to be fired. And if the agencies try to covertly change the names of some of the DEI programs to make it so that they won't find out, he already has a tip line for this. You can email them if you are an employee and you are aware of such a change to try to go against the executive order and go against the firing of these people, that you have to report it or else you may also face consequences. So it's a very interesting, complete reversal of DEI, radical shift from what we had for the last 4 years. This is something that conservatives have really been pushing for a long time, since a lot of these policies came in even during the Trump administration. Trump did not do much during his first administration to stop these actions, these DEI programs, and it has just completely enveloped the corporate scene to the point that practically every Fortune 500 company has some kind of DEI division and some kind of diversity quota or inclusive quota. And a lot of this, you can't even blame the companies, because the investor banks in the back who are giving them the money to run these companies, they are the ones who are controlling where the money is being put. So if, let's say, BlackRock comes into play and Larry Fink says, we need to focus on only diverse companies or only DEI-based companies. So if any company wants to receive any funding from BlackRock or any investment from BlackRock or whatever other companies, Vanguard, State Street, things like that, they would have to put in these DEI programs, and then they could maybe make some annual report saying, look at how good our DEI progress is going. We're hiring more people of different races. We're doing this and that, and that's going to, it's going to boost their approvals with people who care about this kind of stuff. But unfortunately, what they are failing to realize is that this is isolating a large portion of the community who are also saying, well, look, it's not about DEI. We don't care about, let's say, what race you are. We care about what your merit is. And that's really what Trump has been focusing on as well. He's saying that it's not about race. We are actually colorblind to race. It's about your qualifications. It's about merit. He wants to go back to a merit-based system. So it's two very conflicting viewpoints of what's going on here. And now with Trump in office, he is full force, brute forcing his agenda across. without really much opposition, because these federal agencies are just following his command. They don't really have much they can do about it, as the federal agencies operate under the executive branch. So now the question is, will these companies follow suit? Will they be doing the same thing? And already we're seeing some companies like Amazon that are following, like Facebook, and they are going with the cultural tides, and they are also reversing a lot of the DEI policies that were in their companies for the past couple of years. Okay, it is Elon Musk time. Let's talk a little about Elon Musk. As a gamer myself, recently Elon Musk was involved in a debacle, in a controversy in the gaming community, in which he claims to be a top player in the world on Quake, on Path of Exile 2, on other games. I believe Diablo 4, he said he was something like top 10. But it turns out that he has been exposed for not actually being that good at gaming. And what he's doing is he is taking these accounts that he's having other people pilot. Basically, other people from Asia, most likely, are playing the game on his behalf, on his account. And therefore, when he does his streams and when he does his showing off of his gameplay, it actually is not his game. It's really someone else who has played it for him, who has grinded for him. But I mean, you got to think about it like this, right? Elon Musk is a man, but ultimately, he's very successful. Although, at the end of the day, there's only 24 hours in a day. You cannot be doing all of these things at the same time. It just does not make sense. And he's been exposed pretty thoroughly over the past few days from different gamers across the scene, across different games who have played with him in the past, who have seen his streams, that he's essentially lying about all this. He's really not doing anything on the gaming aspects. Well, he's doing a little bit, like he might be okay, but he is nowhere near what he claims to be. And he even had an interview in the past couple of days as well, in which he tried to refute and say, oh, well, I never claimed otherwise. I never claimed that I wasn't doing the account piloting, but he was. So really, it's disingenuous. And it's not really a good look on him. I don't know why it matters so much that he wants to claim to be a top gamer in the world. Maybe he wants to prove something to the younger audiences, but it's not working. It's backfired. And he looks a lot worse because of it. However, another Elon Musk debacle that has recently come out was his quote-unquote Nazi salute that he did during the inauguration. Actually, two of them. Now, I'll be honest. Look, I don't like defending Elon Musk. I think he's an interesting guy, right? But, you know, I'm not an Elon Musk shill or guzzler of his narratives. I really, I'd like to think differently. However, what I will say is a lot of these people who are saying that, oh, Elon Musk did 2 Nazi salutes, I just don't see it as being a problem. I looked at the context, I looked at the clip, and what I saw was Elon Musk was trying to put his heart out to the people in the audience, so that's why he put his hand on his heart and then he went upwards. Now, Elon Musk has already said he has Asperger's. He makes incredibly awkward public appearances. He doesn't know how to conduct himself nor his body movements when he's in large crowds. And we've seen this consistently throughout Trump's campaign. As he got on stage, he made some of the most weird and awkward movements, hand gestures, arm gestures, feet gestures, all sorts of confusing and, not really normal movements. So the way that he was doing this during the inauguration, it is completely in line with the history that Elon Musk has of these strange body movements during his public appearances, and I don't really see anything wrong with this. In fact, that context where he says that he's putting his heart out, and he does it to both sides of the crowd. He does it first in front, and then he looks back and he does it again. He's really saying that he's grateful for the support of the audience, and I see zero reason to associate this with Nazi salutes or anything like that. Yeah, sure, okay, maybe it looks a little like it if you don't have the context, right? But a lot of other people have done similar movements under completely non-Nazi contexts. So this just, to me, it's mind-boggling how much people have been just coalescing around this narrative that Elon Musk is a Nazi and whatever. Like, sure, okay, he has dumb takes on, let's say, Germany, the AfD. Yeah, okay, like, sure, that's fine. You can make that criticism that he does not really understand German politics that well. He is an American. But I just do not see at all how this is an intentional Nazi act. This has nothing to do with Nazism, and people who are associating it together, I think, are using malicious intent, and trying to confuse audiences who don't really want to know the context or have the time to understand the context, and try to wrap it around some kind of narrative. And I think this is just not the way to go. Anyways, still on the topic of Elon Musk a little bit, this time Trump announced Project Stargate, which is a $500 billion AI infrastructure investment that he wants private companies with the backing of the federal government to be doing in order to stay on top of the artificial intelligence race. Right now, we've already seen amazing, impressive work from China in the AI sector, rivaling the best of the US. For example, let's talk about this for a bit. OpenAI has spent God knows how many billions of dollars developing their most latest LLM, large language model versions. Their most recent reasoning model, OpenAI o1, which is available to the public, costs $200 per month to access on ChatGPT. Just think about that. It is so expensive, and Sam Altman even said that with the $200, he is losing money on it, which means that the costs of running this AI are so monumental. It's impressive how much power it takes to run this model. But the Chinese have now developed what's called DeepSeek R1, their first reasoning model. And although it doesn't support certain things like image inputs, what it does is it provides pretty much OpenAI o1 model levels of quality on their outputs. They are surpassing or tying with o1 on pretty much all benchmarks. It's truly insane. At over 90% cost reduction, they are spending so little money. It cost them $6 million or so to come up with this model, and the pricing is significant. It's over 90% cheaper than o1. So just think about the level of progress that China is able to make with so little money, matching some of the best in the scene. And with the o3 model still not coming out and costing over $1,000 for one input for the highest, most advanced levels, it is insane. But either way, what this shows is China is at most 6 months behind the US on AI development, and Trump wants to make sure the US is in front, that we are leading the scene with our AI. And in order to do that, he's putting $500 billion in guarantees to help pretty much boost OpenAI. So all of this money is going to be working with OpenAI to improve infrastructure, build new data centers, new training areas, all of this stuff. It's going to be from SoftBank, from NVIDIA, from Microsoft. A lot of partners are coming into the scene to help OpenAI to boost their models and propel AI innovation forward. However, this has made Elon Musk very angry because Elon Musk also has a competing AI LLM called XAI or Grok. And Grok is, at this point, it's at the moment maybe 10th place or so in terms of the best large language models. So it's definitely not near the level of OpenAI yet. But Trump now has not included Elon Musk's X in any of these proposals for Project Stargate. In fact, pretty much Elon Musk is now making a fit on X. He's saying that, oh, well, OpenAI doesn't have this money, or SoftBank doesn't have the money to do it. And, fair enough, they probably don't, but you have to imagine that this type of project under the power of Trump will also have federal backing, and there will be, even if it doesn't make it up to $500 billion, there's going to be a lot of money put into this infrastructure, and something's going to be done about it. But the question is, will Elon Musk try to backstab this effort, considering OpenAI and Elon Musk have very tense relationships, with Elon Musk actually being one of the original investors in OpenAI and eventually leaving the scene and even having legal litigation back and forth between each other because of different company visions. So at the end of the day, Trump has made his choice. He believes OpenAI has the most potential to lead the US AI innovation scene forward. And this is in spite of OpenAI CEO Sam Altman being very much against Trump for the majority of his public career. He has done many initiatives against Trump, for example, funding networks that say bad things about him, as well as funding people with litigation against Trump. He has said bad things about Trump on Twitter/X for many years, but now he's saying he has a realization that, oh, maybe Trump isn't too bad. Well, obviously, when you get a $500 billion paycheck, essentially, you're going to be saying that kind of stuff. But still, it does show that a lot of these tech CEOs are swaying to Trump's side. Whether it's genuine or not is very hard to believe. I don't believe Sam Altman is genuinely supporting Trump at this point, but he's saying certain things to make himself look better. And Trump, being the person who cares so much about his ego and so much about his persona, he knows about the criticisms as well, because they probably have affected him in some way. But at the same time, he chose Altman and OpenAI to carry the AI torch forward in the US. So it really shows that he does believe in OpenAI's potential and their power as the forefront, as the pioneers of AI innovation. And for now, this is a loss for Elon Musk's AI ventures himself. But let's see if he can find a way into the program. Maybe he will support in some way. But for now, we're just in the early stages. A lot can happen. Let's see how this turns out. Thank you for sticking around to the end of today's episode of the Dangerous Waters podcast. Moving forward, my content will be less structured. I'll just be doing more commentary. I think this will be more interesting. And as always, if you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and I will see you all in the next one.